Peace, family. Alright. Today is a good day for me to run my mouth. Because I got something to say. You feel me? I got something to say. So, for those of you that don't know, my name is Mizizi, and I am the chief of the Mizizi tribe. What is the Mizizi tribe? Mizizi tribe is a group of melanated brothers and sisters who adopt the Pan African mindset about others in the diaspora. All right? So we don't care if you call yourself a Moor, we don't care if you call yourself a Christian, a Muslim, Aboriginal, Indian, Native, African, uh, what's the other one? Foundational Black Americans. We don't care. We don't care. We don't get caught up in identity politics. You know what I'm saying? We don't get caught up in that. We know who our people are. All right. So a part of that is we are in the process of creating our own self-sustaining community. Our homeland, if you will, or not even homeland, I'll say compound. Our compound and our community is out of West Texas currently. All right. Now, the whole plan is to eventually have multiple compounds across the world, but we're starting on our 20-acre property out of West Texas. It's about an hour or so outside of El Paso. All right, so that's where our compound is currently located. So, with that though, we are in the process of developing the land, right? And it takes time and it takes money, but it's doable, right? And if, just in case, anything were to go haywire, right? Anything were to go south or whatever, things don't pan out the way that we expect them to, we also do plan on taking the money, right, that we invested in the property. We can essentially sell that property, acquire the funds from it, and go buy another property. Right? It's really not that big of a deal, but this is just where we had the greatest opportunity to actually start building at that certain time of when we bought the property, right? Because we bought the property years ago, right? So, with that being said, though, the plan is simple, right? We plan on building our own solar system on the property, along with our own water system, right, and our own septic system, right? Now, these things take money, right? Those of you that don't know, yeah, these things require money in order to build, but it's not as ridiculous as some of you might think, right? We're doing a lot of this, like the whole system in and of itself, everything is off grid, right? Everything's off grid, and everything is supposed to be self-sustaining. So with that being said, even the homes that we're building, we are big into natural home building, right? So natural home building meaning, for those of you that don't know, like Adobe, using Adobe bricks to build your home. Some people are familiar with earthships. Other people are familiar with rammed earth. Yo, just that tree again. Man, that smells so good. Some of you are familiar with like rammed earth. straw bale houses, cob houses, things of that nature. That is what we are more so looking into building our houses. Now, we do have some people. I know a brother of mine. He wants to do a modular home, so like the container type houses. Now, I have no qualm with that. My whole thing is, um, I don't want to get into like the technical terms of it. It's gonna be a lot of jargon that you guys may or may not be able to understand, but it's basically how energy efficient container house or modular homes are, right, over time. And then you also got to think about maintenance because it's made out of metal. Metals corrode, and then it can also damage the land itself with rust and metals and things of that nature, right? So, but all of that aside, right, that's more so the route that we plan on going with things, right? So that's part of it. Then the other thing is like using solar, right, to power our homes. Those of you've seen like people have solar panels on their roofs or in their backyards and such. That's the exact type of model that we're planning on taking on, right, to power our entire grid, if you will, that we're gonna have. That way, we're not dependent on anyone else's electricity source. You get me? We're gonna have our own. Same thing with the water system. We're gonna have our own cistern, right? Our own cistern, and then later, this is big when we playing around with big boy money, right? We plan on having a well being dug somewhere on the property, right? But currently, we want to do everything like drip irrigation, cisterns, man-made ponds, and things of that nature, right? Then when it comes to our septic system, now, for those of you that are too, how can I say, too acclimated, right, to like modern day accommodations, right, and you still want to have like your flush toilets and that have water and stuff like that, that's cool, but you're gonna have to figure out how to set up your own system when it comes to that. Because I know the system that we're gonna have in our home is more so like what's the like the compost toilets, things of that nature, where we use sawdust instead of, you know what I'm saying, the water and things of that nature. It's a lot more energy efficient, and it smells a lot less. You get what I'm saying? The smell is a lot less. But regardless of all of that, that's another way that we plan on doing it. Also, the way that we plan on feeding ourselves, right? Because the two major things that I say all the time that we spend the most money on is food and housing, right? We gotta pay that rent, and we gotta buy these groceries. Those are the two main things that we spend money on, aside from all the others. Those are the two main ones. Now, if we can take care of the housing by building our own house, we no longer have to pay rent or a mortgage or what I'm saying, whatever. Then, if we're growing our own food, right, you no longer have to spend money on groceries, right, and things of that nature. Now, me and my family, or my family and I, we are more plant-based, right? I'm not gonna say full-on vegan, but we are more plant-based, so we don't consume meat, right? So that's one difference for us. So us having our own aquaponic system is perfect for us. We still do eat fish, right? That's why I say we're more plant-based and like partially pescatarian, I guess, if you would say, because we still do eat fish, but the types of fish that we eat are limited, right? So us establishing our own aquaponic system is absolutely perfect for what it is that we're building. This is a dead end. I can't go this way. So, with that being said, an aquaponic system is one of the first systems that we plan on building because we got to feed ourselves, right? And produce, plants, vegetables, fruits, things of that nature. It takes it takes time for it to grow. So, for those of you that are interested in this type of lifestyle, understand that it does take time, it does take money, it does take some manual labor, right? In the beginning, right? But it's one of those systems that if once you get it going, right, it sustains itself after a period of time. You know what I'm saying? It's more so one of those systems where you do it maybe once or twice, and then after you do it once or twice, it sustains itself. You get what I'm saying? So I'm currently, or not even we are currently looking for more people who want to take on this type of lifestyle, right? Who would be interested in self sustainability, homeschooling, homesteading, compound type of living, right? Remember, it's 20 acres. I don't know if you guys truly understand how big 20 acres is. The plot that you probably live on, whether it's an apartment building, whether it's a townhome, condo, even a house, right? You're probably sitting on maybe a half acre, or maybe anywhere between point 0.3 acres to half an acre of plot of land, right? That's like typical. You get what I'm saying? On what you're probably living on right now. We have 24 acres. You understand? So it's probably way more land than you're probably accustomed to. And then we also have adjacent plots of land that we can also buy as well. Which is the plan once we get the farm, the aquaponics farm, up and running and going and producing enough food to sustain everyone. You get me? So it's just possibilities, man. It's great possibilities. So we're looking for people who are interested in that type of lifestyle to come and build with us and bring your skills, man. You know what I'm saying? Bring your skills, bring your knowledge and what you know, right? Definitely looking for teachers. 100% looking for teachers. Because we plan on homeschooling all of our children on the property. So we need teachers. 100%. I would say the first two things that I would say we're really actively looking for right now in the beginning, we're looking for boots on the ground. And when I say boots on the ground, these are people who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty, right? Because a lot of this is foundation building, right? Literally building foundations for homes, putting your hand in the dirt, cob building, straw bales, right? People who aren't afraid to use their hands and get their hands dirty. We're looking for those type of people first, right? Then, directly after that, we are looking for teachers because a majority of us, including myself, we have children, right, who are going to be on the property with us, and they need good quality teachers, all right? Not ones that just babysit. Nah, we don't need just babysitters, all right? We need actual legit teachers who can sit down and teach our children from a curriculum that I actually paid money for. It's an African-centered curriculum, right? And those of you that are interested in that as well, I use my hard-earned money to pay for the curriculum that we want to teach our children, right? And we're also not above having teachers who come in and also can put their spin on the curriculum that we already have in place. All right, so we need boots on the ground, aka people who not afraid to get their hands dirty. All right, then we need people who are grade A teachers. All right, we need teachers, 100%. And then after teachers, we can talk about that later, because now we're getting into a little bit more technical things where we're gonna need people who know herbalism, who are nutritionists, and things like that. Like we're gonna start getting into more technical things, because after the aquaponics system is built, now we're gonna need carpenters. You get what I'm saying? People who can build houses and things of that nature, right? And you don't necessarily need like a full-on degree to be a carpenter. You get what I'm saying? It's certain things that we just need to learn and study upon our own. Now, don't get me wrong. I actually did a bit of studying myself on like how to build a roof, how to set a foundation, how to put a floor in, how to do roofing, siding, all of these things. Like, these are things that I had to learn, and I taught myself. Hang on, you guys. Yeah, my bad. Y'all heard the fire truck in the background. But yeah, these are things that I taught myself, legit. Whether it was YouTube University, right? That's the biggest one, YouTube University, right? And then also reading books, going to the library. I'm always at the library. Always at the library. I'm reading books and teaching myself skills, right? That I'm going to use to help build a type of community that I want for me and my family, right? So I think that's about it, you guys. That's all I'm going over today when it comes to the Mizizi tribe and things of that nature. If you're interested in actually joining the Mizizi tribe, just inbox me, whether it's at PolyPanAfrica on Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, I think that's it. I think those are the main ones that I got. I got other platforms, but I don't be on them. You could message me on my Facebook, but I don't be on Facebook. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't really be on Facebook like that. I'll see the message and I'll respond, but just know it might be a late response. I don't be on there. Whenever I post on those platforms, I post on Instagram and it automatically posts for me on Facebook. You get what I'm saying? I don't be on that like that. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna end this video. I'm a little bit out of breath because I'm skating up a hill. Sorry. If y'all hear me breathing kind of hard a little bit, but that's it for this video, you guys. If you want me to go into deeper detail about certain things, just inbox me, because I know a lot of people have questions, like how we plan on doing certain specific things, and I promise you I got it covered. All you gotta do is just inbox me, I'll give you your answer. And if I don't have an answer, I'll look it up, get back to you, and then you'll have your answer. But yeah, you guys, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Feel free to inbox me at any time. Peace, family.